Look at these walls I do, as Trevor talks it through, 'cause they're all yellow. Well, thank you. I guess that'll be my theme song for this week. As Trevor talks it through, episode something or other, and yeah, I just noticed that it's really yellow. The walls, very yellow. So I was watching my old shows repeatedly. I'm trying to improve things, not. Yeah, so these walls are yellow. I noticed that, so I thought maybe I'd make a bit of a joke about that in my opening song. Anyway, it's been a big couple of weeks. It always is for me. Big things happen. Sometimes I remember them. Another big change is I'm trying to wear a bit of a classier shirt. And I noticed that for the other two shows I was pretty much wearing the same type of shirt. It was just a slightly different color. Like one of them was kind of darkish and the other one was a little less darkish. Anyway, so I've got it's like a real shirt on, collared. See? So you can see that buttons and stuff like that, because I care. I want to. Whoa! I just glowed there. I want to add some production values, as you know. So I got a shirt with a collar and button. Well, the other one had a collar, but it looks cheap and it is cheap. This is cheap as well. It doesn't look as cheap. I don't know why that is. Yeah, so I got that, and also you might notice behind me my set. I changed part of my set. I've kept the kitten there. Doesn't. I guess I should name them. Maybe that'll be Kitty the kitten. I mean, I'm on the spot. I should have come up with this beforehand. That's Kitty the kitten, and this is a panda bear with a cowboy hat. Because last week I had a plant. I had a plant there, and left a lot of dirt. Didn't make it wasn't very popular around the house having all that dirt. So I replaced him with a panda with a cowboy hat, and we're going to call him maybe Heart Swallower. Yeah, because I think he looks soft, but I think he would actually just devour your heart and your soul. What have I been doing? Not too much. No, I'm sorry, big couple of weeks. On Trevor Talks It Through, I was thinking on my branding. I'm always trying to think of how to brand the show better. Make it more marketable. I was trying to think of the short form for my show. So as Trevor Talks It Through, and I was going to say, hey, like maybe on Twitter or something, hey, come see another episode of T-TIT. T-TIT, because that's what it works out to. T-TIT. Maybe it'll get me some viewers. It might be the wrong sort of viewers, but I guess maybe there's some fans of Mr. T with some strange obsessions, and they'd like to see T-TIT. Anyway, I think I'll probably go with just like the triple T thing. I think it's been done. I'm sure there's lots of triple T's. Trevor Talks, and then it's a little word, so I'm just going to get rid of it, Trevor Talks It Through. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so what have I been working on? One thing I've been working on is I worked on a song called The Butts of the Gods Are Farting at You. And yeah, because I came up with this idea. I just, of the butts of the gods, I found that, I think my son said it, and so I ripped it off. Because I'm out of my own ideas. And then I said, well, what would the butts of the gods do? Well, they'd fart at you, wouldn't they? Naturally, right? I guess they could sit on you as well. But I went with fart, because it's a comedically sound idea. And I thought, okay, the butts of God are farting at you. So I wrote a whole song, a whole kind of folk song, and a very kind of sad song about the gods farting at you no matter what you did. More metaphorical than anything else. So I finished that, and I was pretty happy with it. And somebody on the Twitter world kind of said, hey, that idea, because I tweeted, hey, I'm going to write this song, Butts of the Gods Are Farting at You. I said, oh, it sounds like kind of like a metal song, or something like that. I have a bad memory. So then I wrote a new version of The Butts of the Gods Are Farting at You in kind of Germanic, heavy metal rock, That's what I did next. Kind of drew, yeah. So I did that version. It's super great. So now I have two versions of this song, and I decide what I need as a trilogy. I need a trilogy because if it looks like if I'm doing two songs on the same topic, it's just kind of lame. It just looks like I have nothing, no other ideas. It's like, oh, I'll just write this song twice. Like you have a pair of something. Like if I wrote a pair of books, no one would care. If you write three, you write a trilogy of books, everyone's like, oh, I wrote a trilogy. There's a trilogy. That's three of something. Three of something. I guess I don't know why it's so much better to have three of something than two of something. I guess it's because like in geometry, if you have 2 points, here I'll show you 2 points, all you get's a line, right? You get 3 points, you have a triangle, you have a shape, a trilogy, you have area, right? So maybe that's why 3 is so much better than 2. So anyway, I think I need one more idea for my Butts of the Gods Are Farting at You song. So if somebody wants to just send one in to me, that'd be great. Any style. Just tell me, like, when you hear the Butts of the Gods Are Farting at You, what kind of music do you hear in your head? Because I know you do. I know you do. Maybe we'll do a couple of questions. So I asked for questions. I said, give me questions, suggestions, unintelligible utterances as well. I asked for. I'll be recording. Okay, so that's what I asked for. So I got a couple of questions. First one's from Damien Berube, or maybe Berube. Damien Berube. He says, what is your favorite song to listen to while walking? Say a theme song reminiscent of Reservoir Dogs or ubiquitous badasses on TV who walk away from explosions set to something catchy. So yeah, I think he's thinking of all that kind of cool music that guys kind of strut to. Something blows up behind you, but you're just strutting and you're hearing the music in your head. And it's like, yeah, I know something's blowing up, but I don't care. I don't care that something's blowing up because I hear my music in my head. Is that what you want, Damien? Okay, so he's wondering if I got that going on in my head. And I got to say, I don't, Damien, at all. I wish I did because that's really cool if you can do that. But I have little kids, and I find I've been regressing. And they pretty much do poo-poo, pee-pee jokes all the time. And I started as a parody to parody them. It's kind of like a satire because children really get satire when they're really young. I would just start singing around the house, poo-poo, pee-pee bum-bum, poo-poo, pee-pee bum-bum, which of course they found hilarious. So I don't think they got the deeper meaning that I was making fun of how limited their humor was compared to mine. But since then, I find myself always kind of humming that, or I think I'm actually singing it to myself out loud as I walk. So I'm kind of like, I'm trying to do that walk, but I'm going poo poo peep bum bum, poo poo peep bum bum, poo poo. And I gotta say, maybe now I'm thinking about that, maybe that's not so cool. Although people have been leaving me alone, which is great, which is really great. Yeah, thanks, Damien. You're welcome, Trevor. Okay, Anna has a question for me. Anna says, I'm glad you started up the podcast again. I was wondering if you could give me some Canadian survival tips. Someday I'd love to go up north to see the worms, but I don't want to get attacked by a moose or fined for not properly saluting a Mountie. Thanks. Okay, well that's a very reasonable question, Anna. So let's deal with the being fined for not properly saluting a Mountie. I know it's a kind of an urban myth going around all over the place. It's not true. You don't get fined. They can't do that to you at all. You can salute them any way you want. You can give them, even the not nice salutes, and they can't do anything about it except taser you. That's all they can do. You can't get fined. You can be twitching on the ground and stuff like that, but you're not going to get a fine. So don't worry about that. Go ahead. Push their buttons. Authority figures love that when you push their buttons. Yeah, so that might be fun for you. What's the other one? Attacked by a moose. Well, yeah, moose are a problem, especially in the cities now. Because moose were here before civilization, they got some exemptions from other laws. So moose are actually the only creatures in Canada that are allowed to carry concealed weapons, and they do quite a lot. And they've been leaving the countryside because it's hard to make money doing like racketeering in the forest. You might get some acorns off some squirrels, but that's not much. So they're moving into town and they're packing heat. So you got to be really careful. I would just keep away from moose. Like, they're big. You can see them coming. They're going to sneak up on you. So keep away from moose. I hope that helped, Anna. I really do. Hope to see you in Canada soon. And just, you know, be careful. Okay, be careful. Really careful. Should I do one more? Maybe I'll do one more here. Okay. I'll do one more. This is Angela. Hi, Angela. Hi, Trevor. She says, which is better, a lifetime of ducks or an evening of princesses? Well, you know what? I'm glad you asked this, because I've been up just recently, just last week, I was up all night thinking about this very thing. Like, what is better, a lifetime of ducks or an evening of princesses? And like, it's when you say it, it's like, oh, those seem like really fun things. A lifetime of ducks, you know, an evening of princesses. But they're an evening of princesses. You got to think that one through, right? Who would I be at the evening of princesses? Am I going to be a princess? I don't think so. I'm going to be surrounded by the princesses. I'm probably, you think I'm a duke maybe, or a king? You think I'm going to like have something, get something going on at this evening of princesses? I don't think so. I think if I'm at an evening of princesses, I'm working the door, right? I'm at the door. I'm like taking their coats and their shoes. They probably got like lots of different shoes because princesses love shoes, or maybe they have unicorns. I've got to take to the stable and then, you know, clean up all their rainbow-colored poo. So that's going to be a terrible evening. I think I'm going to have a horrible time. All these princesses just bossing me around, get me to do stuff. Oh, yes, milady, yes, I'd love to take your lovely pony rainbow sprinkle bum to the yard. I think that's going to be terrible. Okay, but now, lifetime of ducks. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean I have like a lifetime, the lifespan of a duck? I don't know. It's probably like a whole lifetime with ducks with me all the time. And they're pretty great when you go to the park or something, right? Go to the park. There's ducks there, and you give them some stale donuts or something you find in your pocket, and they go. I mean, that's great for, you know, a couple of minutes. You have a moment, and you go, right? But I'm guessing a whole lifetime of ducks. And so this is more than one duck. This is like a herd of ducks or whatever they come in. Maybe it's a quorum of ducks. Just with you all the time. Quack, 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 quack. All the time. I mean, that is also aggravating. That'd be really aggravating, actually. Wake up every morning. Quack, 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 quack. Duck poo all over the place. You're a terrible person, Angela, for suggesting these things. I think I'm going to have to take the evening of princesses just because it's shorter. Okay. Yeah, it's just less than a whole lifetime of ducks. That would drive you loopy. I mean, I can suck it up, and I can get through an evening of princesses. I think I can do that. I can do that. But a lifetime of ducks, no, those ducks are dead, or I'm dead. Like, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess, and the Mounties are going to be there tasering people. The moose are going to come in, and yeah, it's going to be horrible. So no, princesses. I'm going to sing a song now. How about that? How do you like them apples? This is going to be, this is the third song of a trilogy. Remember I was talking about trilogies earlier? Trilogies are super cool. Pairs of songs are not. This is a trilogy. This is the trilogy. I'll quickly recap if you haven't been watching all my other absolutely dreadfully boring vlogs and podcasts. A friend of mine, Mike Ford, he sometimes is the replacement worm, and then he had this nightmare where he thought he was at some worm theme park, and he had to be the busking guy on the street, and he had his set list, and there were these 3 songs he didn't recognize. First one was Why Can't You Be More Like Snorri, the Atlantic Explorer Baby. The second one was Stupid Song, and Stupid Song I have now recorded and placed on the internet. And this is the last one. This one was Old People Can Do Lots of Work. So this was his nightmare, and I've made his nightmare a reality. Actually, I do that for him all the time in the van. They say there's a pension crisis, and when the boomers all retire, they'll be poor and penniless, and the situation dire. But I think all this doom and gloom's as silly as can be. This is not a crisis, it's an opportunity. Yeah, old people can do lots of work, and they're gonna be real desperate. They can't afford to shirk. So get one to hire and make them perspire. They can retire when they expire. Old people can do lots of work. They won't be very good in mines or cutting down large trees, but they can do most any job where you don't bend at the knees. Sure, they wear out easily, but there's a large supply. So just go get another if one naps too much or dies. Old people can do lots of work. Desperate, they can't afford to shirk. So get one to hire and make them perspire. They can retire when they expire. Old people can do lots of work. And the best thing of all, their remuneration can be orthopedic pillows or expired medication. Old people can do lots. They can be Christmas elves, but they can't reach high shelves. Old people can do lots. If they're on a cruise ship, it's cause they're cleaning toilets. Old people can do lots. They can get you French fries the last days of their lives. Old people can do. Old people can do. When we're old, we will do lots of work. That was that one. Old people can do lots of work. I had a couple little screw-ups in there, but you're not paying anything, so there. It's squaresies. Squaresies. How are you doing back there, guys? Ow! Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that's been going on for me. I did, oh, I know. I'm trying to, just in the news, I'm trying to be topical here. There's a big, as you know, I'm trying to expand my online empire. And I know Facebook, like last week or something like that, they went public. Although we've known about them for quite a long time. They went public and they sold their shares. And one day I'm going to go public. I'm going to sell shares in T-TIT as well, and see how that goes. But what I found really interesting is they sold, and is like, they sold for 18 trillion zillion dollars. And then the week after that, it went down like by 15%. And everyone was like, oh, Facebook's, it's nothing. It's down 15% of billions and trillions of dollars. And I was just wondering, well, it's still really, really a lot. Like, it was already a number. Like, I can't, well, I certainly can't count to. Well, maybe I could count it. Maybe next episode I'll try to count to that number. It might be a very long episode. So, like, they're doing all right, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't get people just, look, they're worth 15% less of $2,000,000,002. Yeah. Maybe that's why I don't talk about topical things. Okay, I thought I was really going to be insightful, and that really was not insightful in any way, actually. So, be able to do one more question. I've got a whole bunch of questions. I've got a couple left. So if I miss yours, once again, just resend it, or I'll try to remember and do it next time. Because this thing's going through the roof. I don't know if you know, it's up to almost 200 hits on YouTube, which I don't know. I think it might be a record. I don't know. I don't do a lot of stuff on YouTube or look around there, but I think 200 is pretty high. I might even break YouTube. You know, if you go on YouTube, it's not working. It's because everyone is hitting it. Like, I'm getting so many hits that it's breaking. Okay. So last question. This is from, who's this from? Olivia. Olivia says, what is the big deal with bacon? Based on the way some people go on about it, one would think it's the greatest thing on earth. I had some 15 years ago, and although I don't remember finding anything particularly abhorrent about it, apart from the fat content, I really don't see what all the fuss is about. I'm so glad that all these bacon lovers have something in their lives that gives them so much joy, but I feel like I'm missing something. Any thoughts on the subject? Well, thanks, Olivia. Great question. So, let's see. You're going to start a question with, what is the big deal about bacon? And you're like, what am I supposed to do with that? What's the big deal about bacon? It's like you're insulting my religion. Basically there is like, yeah, well, thanks, Olivia, because bacon is great. It's super good. And it should be on everything. It's only on most things at the moment, but it should be on everything. There should be, well, there's bacon sandwiches. There should be bacon pie. There should be bacon icing. I was talking about icing last week. That'd be great icing. Bacon icing. There should be bacon baths. I bathe in bacon fat whenever I can. I leaves my skin very moist and tasty. Yum. So what's the big deal? If you don't know what the big deal is with bacon, sorry, I don't know how you can even live. Really, it's like, yeah, I just don't know how you could live without knowing the joy of bacon. What's the big fuss? And then you say that, oh, I'm so glad all these bacon lovers have a great year. No, I think you're looking down on bacon lovers. You're going, you know what? I'm living my life, and I have a bacon-free life, and I don't need bacon. And you make that little jab about the fat, right? Yeah, and it's okay. It's fatty. It's a little fatty. I mean, that's what's good about it. Like bacon is the perfect food. What it is, it's fat and a tiny little strip of meat that holds the fat together, and then you can cook it to whatever level of fatness you want, and then you can pour the fat out, and then you have two different things. You have the bacon, which you can eat, or you can make buildings out of, maybe, or something like that. And then you have the fat, which I say you can bathe in, you can drink, you can burn, turn into candles. I mean, it does everything. It's done everything, and it's made out of pigs, right? Pigs. Pigs are great. I mean, I like Porky Pig. He's funny. Oh, I don't know why I attempt to do impressions. That's not very good. But Porky Pig, and there's, what other pigs are there? There must be other pigs. It's Rob Ford. He's not very funny, though. Anyway, there's lots of pigs, right? And so we should eat them. That's what they're there for. Like pigs, for example, pigs would not be around if humans did not invent them to eat as bacon. So if you don't think bacon is great, then you're saying you don't like pigs. Because pigs aren't normal. They're not natural. They were wild animals that we brought in from the wild so that we could give them a great life of just sitting around and eating, and then we eat them. Like, it's a fair deal. It's fair trade. We give them life, and then we take it away. And if you don't like bacon, that means you are against pigs. And I feel bad for you. I think that's it for today's episode. I have no idea what I should do to my theme song. Wow. You just watch Trevor talks it through. Good for you. Kind of a caveman thing because the bacon. Oh, my anger about. Anyway.